Good morning, welcome to HeKate's Crossing. Now, I just did the Tarot Familiars unboxing. Now what I want to do is do a really quick reading in what lies ahead for us as a collective. Now, this is a spiritual journey, not necessarily love and relationships or anything like that. This is about us as individuals. This does not include anyone else, unless, of course, they come into our life. This is what affects you as an individual as you travel your journey spiritually with what's going on with your life. So it's how do you react, what's going on for you personally. Okay, so let's begin. What I want to do is just shuffle and think very carefully what lies ahead for us as a collective. Oh, and then some cards flew out. 4 to begin. So those 4 I'm actually going to put into the centre of the table. Now let's have a look, see what else comes out. Now what else is very important? What's of value for us to know at this time about what lies ahead? Okay. The sort of things that happen. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's another 5. So let's just check to see if there's anything else, because that really gives us 9 cards for the reading. So we'll just see, is there anything else of value that we need to know at this time? Actually, it doesn't feel like there is. Okay, that's it. So we'll put that away. So the 9 cards flew out. Let's look at the first 4. The first 4 we have here is, let's begin with the 9 of Cups. Now the 9 of Cups for me is that everything is happening behind the scenes. We may not see what's going on, but yet it's happening. It's preparing for a sense of happiness, of joy, maybe in a relationship. You've been worried and stressed, but everything's happening behind the scenes. Everything's a-okay. Stop stressing about it. It's everything will happen as it should. You know, are you doing the things that you're supposed to be doing? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you nurturing your emotional needs? Are you going to work? Are you functioning in a normal everyday life? That for me is the 9 of Cups. Okay. Second card we have here is the 4 of Pentacles. 4 of Pentacles is what are you holding on to that may or may not be good for you. Maybe you're hoarding something that's not so great. Maybe you're holding something for another day. It's like, oh, look, if I hold on to this, that'll come right. You know, it could even be with a relationship. You're holding on to that person because there's nothing else that lies ahead. You can't see, you know, you don't want to be alone. You know, all those things come into play when you think about the 4, for me, when you think about the 4 of Pentacles on different levels within our life. I'm not talking just finances or health, but even in a relationship or work. Are you holding on to a job because you can't see any other way for you to be earning money? You know, you're doing a job that you're not really satisfied with, but you're holding on to it anyway because you can't see any other way to earn money or, you know, to earn a living. You've got to pay your bills. So some things to think about when you see the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups to me is about balance. It's about in a relationship you're giving and taking. You have the sense of whatever you giving out, you're also receiving. You know, it's all those things to think about. This could be a new relationship, and is it balanced, the relationship? Is it a joining of 2 souls that are on the same wavelength? All those things to think about when you're thinking about a new relationship coming together. Now, the relationship doesn't necessarily need to be intimate. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a business relationship on some way, conjoining of two souls, maybe the two friends that have come together. And it's like, hey, you know, is this relationship balanced? Is this friendship balanced? Are you feeling supportive within this relationship, this friendship? All those things are really important to think about when you see the Two of Cups. So next we have the Ten of Pentacles. Now the Ten of Pentacles talks to me, when you see this, and it's like the Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, the way it's laid out. It's about pathways, all your paths with riches. Is all area of your life getting the equal attention that it needs? Is everything sort of feeling like it's coming together? It's, you know, you're achieving your goals, you know, you've worked really hard, you've balanced, you've got your health under control, your finances are in the right place, your relationship's all perfect, everything just seems to be flowing, you've got good friends, you've got good family support, everything is amazing. So, you know, is everything perfect? Is everything the way it's supposed to be? Do you feel like you've reached your goals? You've got nothing life ahead? You know, it feels like this is it. This is the end. This is where I'm supposed to be. But you've forgotten. There's always something new ahead. So I feel that's your cards, you know, your basis of the reading. Is a sense of everything sort of happening behind the scenes, even though you can't really see what's going on. You are being asked, what are you holding on to that may not be so good for you? You're hoarding, you're bringing it in. Is the relationship give and take? Is it, you know, whatever you're doing, is it balanced? Is the sense of two opposites coming together and it's feeling like you're actually walking side by side, not crossed over? Do you feel like riches are moving through all your life? As you feel like this is it and there's nothing else beyond this? You know, you feel like, oh yeah, I've done everything. I've achieved what I need to. That's it. Finished. So some things to think about. Okay, now let's see what the other cards that flipped out. We've got the Knave of Wands. So we have this young kitty cat. He's enthusiasm. He's got this drive. He's got this motivation. He's passionate. He's got the desire to achieve, but he just doesn't have the experience. He just hasn't got the knowledge yet that the mature kitty cats have. So, you know, he's just sitting there, he's saying, you know, tell me what to do, I'll do it, I'm motivated, I've got the drive, teach me, I want to learn, I want to achieve. That I feel like this kitty cat's all about. Next one, we've got the Owl, and he's the world. This might be about leaving behind those old experiences. It's the end of a cycle, you're moving into something new, it's exciting, it's passionate, you're dancing through life, you're excited, because you're really left behind the old slog, whether it's exams, study, an old relationship, an old job, an old house that you're moving from. This is the end of a cycle, end of a phase. You're moving into something new and exciting. Next we got 10 of Swords. This is it, it's final. It's finale. It is the end of all. Could be a sense of being stabbed in the back. 2. That's one thing I like about the Ten of Swords. It really lends itself to being really symbolic. You don't want to be literally stabbed in the back with knives, with swords, with or shot in the back or whatever. This is very symbolic in the regards to the endings and the final, you know, this is it, you know, there's no turning back now. This is, if you want the new to arrive, you really have to just go, you have to surrender to it. You just have to let it go. You got Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles to me is the sense of really you're preparing for this end. You're, you know, even though this is going, yeah, this is it, this is the end, you're going, oh, this hesitation, this whole sense of I'm preparing for this to come into play. I feel like I'm not quite, I'm a bit worried, I'm stressed, like, I don't know about this, I've got this, all these things that I've got to be doing, you know, all those things sort of I feel like we're sort of into here. And this 9, even though it's pentacles and not swords, I still get this feeling of, you know, I'm not quite ready yet. Even though you know all the stuff's going on, there's a sense of you're not quite ready to sort of let go. You're not quite ready to make that connection to actually say goodbye. I just feel like you're sort of still holding on to something, if you like. You've got this 3 of Wands, and yeah, this pause. I didn't even look at this before. This pause, you've got this, yeah, I've got to walk ahead, but I'm not quite ready. I'm sort of have taken the choices. I have made the decision. I've sort of started this journey, but I'm not quite ready. So I feel like this card here is sort of a hesitant card, sort of hesitating with what's going on. So even though I haven't followed the Rider-Waite messages, I feel like there's some stuff coming through, and this card here tells me that you're not quite ready to take the plunge. Even though you know what needs to be done, and you've got the endings, and you're saying, yeah, it's final, and I know that, you're not quite ready. You're still reviewing. You're still thinking, oh, you know, I can see that I've got to move ahead. I know that I've got to achieve the results, but I'm not quite ready. So anyway, that's the Tarot Familiars. That's my thoughts on the cards, and you can sort of see that we've got a lot of pentacles, so it's about staying grounded with what's going on. There's a couple of cups going on here, so there could be a little bit of emotion going on. A couple of wands. Wands, pentacles, and cups. So what's missing? There is a sword, but there's not a lot of swords. So there needs to maybe be some thought. Maybe it's time for some reflection. Trying to trust your intuition. Maybe you're not trusting your intuition. It's not too huge, too, at the moment. I feel like even though the world is saying to you it's farewell, it's goodbye, you know, all these cards, you've got the world and the 10 of swords, 10 of pentacles, you've got all that finality, but yet you seem to sort of have this hesitation, this, you know, not quite ready to take the plunge, so to speak. You know, you're not quite there. You know, you've got this possibility of this expansion and this growth going on, but you're not quite ready. You've got this youthful drive and motivation, but you don't have the experience. So something's saying you just don't quite have all the information yet, or you don't have the knowledge that you need to actually make it final, make it complete. So interesting when you start sort of breaking the reading down a little bit more. So anyway, this is the cards. Let's see if I can pick them up. So this is what you've got to look at. A bit more in depth. Take care and blessed be. From HeKate's Crossing and Tarot Familiar.